Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I hope you're having a fantastically awesome day so far. My day's going pretty good, thank you very much for asking. Today we are reacting to Meet the Nimitz-class, US Navy's $8.5 billion aircraft carrier. Now, I'm obsessed with aircraft carriers. I still can't get over just how big they are, and I don't think I'll ever comprehend exactly how big they are until I see one in real life, because they are freaking huge from what I've seen. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this video. Excuse me from smiling. I've got my headphone in the opposite ear today because this one died and it's charging, and it's so weird. I don't know how to explain it, to hear myself from this ear rather than this one. I'm so used to hearing out of this ear. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's really freaking me out. Anyway, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, and if you're feeling extra frisky, you may as well give the video a like as well. I do have a Buy Me a Coffee page and a Patreon page linked down in the description if you want to help support the channel. That'll be freaking awesome. And without further ado, let's check out the US Navy's $8.5 billion aircraft carrier.
Meet the Nimitz-class aircraft carrier, US Navy's $8.5 billion beast. The aircraft carriers continue to be the centerpiece of the forces necessary for operating forward. In times of crisis, the first question leaders ask is, where are the carriers? Often, the presence of an aircraft carrier has deterred potential adversaries from striking.
I tell you what, that is, if you see that coming towards you, you're in for a crappy day, aren't you? Look at that. It looks so menacing.
Often, the presence of an aircraft carrier has deterred potential adversaries from striking against U.S. interests. Aircraft carriers support and operate aircraft that engage in attacks on airborne, afloat, and ashore targets which threaten the free use of the sea. They also participate in sustained power projection operations in support of U.S. and coalition forces. The aircraft carrier and its strike group also engage in maritime security operations to interdict threats to merchant shipping and prevent the use of the seas for terrorism and piracy. Aircraft carriers also provide unique capabilities for disaster.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can see 7 forklifts on there. There may be more. That is insane. Holy crap, man. The people look so... I can't get over the size of them.
Response and humanitarian assistance. The Nimitz-class aircraft carrier consists of 10 carriers serving as the ultimate symbol of the United States superpower status. These formidable vessels stand as true behemoths, representing unparalleled weapons platforms that outshine all their nearest rivals. The aircraft carriers in this class are the USS Nimitz, USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, USS Carl Vinson, USS Theodore Roosevelt, USS Abraham Lincoln, USS George Washington, USS John C. Stennis, USS Harry S. Truman, USS Ronald Reagan, and USS George H.W. Bush. The lead ship of the U.S. class, USS Nimitz, nicknamed Old Salt.
Look at that! That's buildings and stuff, and the freaking, I was nearly said the boat. The aircraft carrier looks so freaking huge compared to the build. I can't get over it. I really want to see one of these in real life.
Was commissioned in May 1975.
So big.
Named after Admiral Chester Nimitz, who led the U.S. Navy through World War II. And the last of the class, USS George H.W. Bush, was commissioned in January 2009. At 1,092 feet, the Nimitz-class supercarriers are more than 3 times the length of a football field. And with a crew complement of over 5,000 members, they're essentially floating cities. All the ships of the...
I would be terrible in the Navy. I don't even own any white shirt. I've got one white shirt, I think, that Valerie sent me. 2, and one with my merch. I hardly ever wear them because I am terrible. I am so bad with, like... It's good that I don't have designer brands or anything, because if I'm working out in the garden or something and I just... I'm terrible. Their uniforms are always so pristine and clean.
The class are powered by 2 A4W nuclear reactors housed in separate compartments. The reactors produce heat through nuclear fission, which heats water to produce steam. These are then passed through 4 turbines, which are then shared by the 2 reactors.
That thing's spinning.
A gearbox transmits power to 4 propeller shafts, producing a maximum speed of over 30 knots and a maximum power of 260,000 brake horsepower.
That is shunting. Look how fast it's going.
Power to 4 propeller shafts, producing a maximum speed of over 30 knots and a maximum power of 260,000.
I had no idea they could go that quick. I thought they were quite slow moving. I realized that they got to get from A to B in a pretty quick speed, but I didn't think they could go so quick, if that makes sense.
Producing a maximum speed of over 30 knots and a maximum power of 260,000 brake horsepower.
Jesus.
The turbines power the 4 bronze propellers, each with a diameter of 25 feet and a weight of 66,000 pounds. Behind these are the 2 rudders, which are 29 feet high and 22 feet long. As a result of nuclear power, the ships are capable of operating continuously for over 20 years without refueling and are predicted to have a service life of over 50 years. These warships, which have a displacement of 104,000 tons, were all built by Huntington Ingalls Industries Newport News Shipbuilding based in Virginia at a unit cost of approximately $8.5 billion.
Flippin' heck. Some investment,
Carrier Air Wing. Of course, the real strength of a carrier lies in its air wing. During the Cold War, carrier air wings were larger than today's. In the 1980s, a typical carrier air wing consisted of 2 squadrons of 12 F-14 Tomcat air superiority fighters, 2 squadrons of 12 Fa-18 Hornet multi-role fighters, 1 squadron of 10 A-6 Intruder attack bombers, 1 squadron of 4 to 6 E-2 Hawkeye airborne early warning and control planes, 10 3A Viking anti-submarine planes, 1 squadron of 4 EA-6B Prowler electronic warfare planes, and a squadron of 6 SH-3 anti-submarine helicopters. With slight variations from carrier to carrier and cruise to cruise, the average Nimitz-class carrier during the Cold War carried between 85 to 90 aircraft. Today, the carrier air wing looks quite different. Its composition is designed to enable broad striking power hundreds of miles from the carrier's position, while also providing defense in depth for the battle group through the early warning and detection of airborne, surface, and subsurface targets. The current U.S. Navy carrier air wing comprises 4 strike fighter squadrons, each with 10 or 12 Fa-18 EF Super Hornets, or 3 Super Hornet squadrons and 1 10-aircraft squadron of F-35C Lightning IIs, totaling over 40 strike fighters. The air wing also includes 1 electronic attack squadron, which is composed of 7 EA-18G Growlers. Additionally, there's 1 carrier airborne early warning squadron equipped with 4 E-2C Hawkeyes or 5 E-2D advanced Hawkeyes. The air wing further includes 1 helicopter Sea Combat Squadron with 8 MH-60S Seahawks and 1 helicopter maritime strike squadron with 11 MH-60R Seahawks, with 3 to 5 of them typically based in detachments on other ships of the carrier strike group. A fleet logistics support squadron detachment comprised of 2 C-2A Greyhounds is also part of the air wing. In 2021, the new CMV-22B Osprey from the newly established Fleet Logistics Multi-Mission Squadron detachments began to replace the C-2A Greyhounds. Nimitz Defensive Systems. In addition to the aircraft they carry, Nimitz-class aircraft carriers are armed with various sophisticated weapon systems. Among these are 2 or 3 Mark 29 guided missile launching systems. Each of these systems is capable of launching either RIM-162 Evolved Sea Sparrow missiles or RIM-7 Sea Sparrow missiles. Additionally, Nimitz-class carriers are equipped with 3 or 4 20mm Phalanx 6-barreled Mark 15 close-in weapon system (CWIS) installations. These automated gun systems are designed to engage and destroy close-in threats with a remarkable rate of fire. Automated gun systems are designed to engage and destroy close.
I want to try and get a ringtone. My phone's always on silent, but if I could get a ringtone and it sounded like that, I would freaking love it. I love that sound.
Threats with a remarkable rate of fire of 3,000 rounds per minute. They're essential components of the carrier's defense mechanism, ensuring rapid and effective responses to incoming threats.
Jesus.
The carriers also feature 2 Mark 49 guided missile launching systems, with each capable of launching RIM-116 rolling airframe missiles. The RAM is a quick reaction fire and forget missile system used for close-in defense against anti-ship missiles. Furthermore, the carriers are equipped with Mark 38 25mm machine gun systems, which provide additional close-in defense and are used for engaging surface threats, especially enemy swimmers and fast surface craft.
Enemy swimmers, holy crap. If you've got the balls to swim towards one of those things with the idea of attacking it, holy crap, man. That's insane.
Nimitz-class carrier strike group. When an aircraft carrier deploys, it takes a carrier strike group, CSG, made up of several other warships and supply vessels that allow the operation to be carried out. The armament of the Nimitz-class is made up only of short-range defensive weapons used as a last line of defense against enemy missiles and aircraft. As with all surface ships, an aircraft carrier is particularly vulnerable to attack from below, specifically from submarines. An aircraft carrier is a very expensive, hard-to-replace, and strategically valuable asset, and therefore it logically has immense value as a target. Due to their high value as targets and vulnerability, aircraft carriers are always accompanied by at least one submarine for protection. The other vessels in the strike group offer additional capabilities, such as long-range Tomahawk missiles or the Aegis combat system, and provide defense against potential threats. A typical strike group may consist of the following. In addition to an aircraft carrier, up to 6 surface combatants, including guided missile cruisers and guided missile destroyers, primarily used for anti-aircraft warfare and anti-submarine warfare, as well as frigates warship prior to their retirement from the United States Navy service. When the Navy commissions a new Constellation-class frigate, they'll once again accompany carrier strike groups. Also part of the group are 1 or 2 attack submarines for the purpose of locating and neutralizing hostile surface ships and submarines, as well as an ammunition, oiler, and supply ship provided by
Imagine looking through your binoculars and seeing that coming. Holy crap. It's time to put your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye. That is insane.
Military Sea Lift Command to offer logistical
There's
support.
The sub there as well.
The numbers and types of vessels comprising each strike group can vary from group to group based on deployments, missions, and availability. The end of an era. Pre-planning for the deactivation of the USS Nimitz, currently the United States' oldest active aircraft carrier, is beginning. Nimitz-class carriers were initially designed to have a 50-year service life. At the end of their service life, ships will be decommissioned. This process will first take place on Nimitz and is estimated to cost from $750 to $900 million. This compares with an estimated $53 million for a conventionally powered carrier. Most of the difference in cost is attributed to the deactivation of the nuclear power plants and the safe removal of radioactive material and other contaminated equipment.
Still,
according to the schedules outlined in the Navy's long-range shipbuilding plan, submitted to the U.S. Congress in March 2023, it now appears that the USS Nimitz will be retired in 2026. Previously, reports indicated that the offloading process would begin in 2025, with the official inactivation of the vessel scheduled for 2027. Following the retirement of the USS Nimitz, the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower is expected to retire the following year. Other Nimitz-class aircraft carriers are also waiting for their turn to be retired. Farewell. The Navy plans to replace the Nimitz-class carriers with the Gerald R. Ford-class carriers on a one-for-one basis over the next 3 decades.
What do they do with them once they've been decommissioned? Do they just tear them down and then reuse the steel and stuff? It would be sick to make one of them like a hotel or something once everything dangerous is out of there. I mean, that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? But holy smokes, I still can't get over the size of them. I never really had a lot of interest in the whole Navy side of things, like the whole watery side of things, because I'm terrified of drowning. Don't get me wrong, I love swimming. I'm a good swimmer. I used to surf and bodyboard and stuff like that. I'm okay, but being that far out scares the life out of me. And then when you add submarines to the mix, but the more I watch videos like this, the more I'm like, these guys are so badass, man. Like, to be in the sea and then still want like fight is, it's crazy. Anyway. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. If you guys have got any video suggestions, why not send me an email? My email address is always in the description. Anyway, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.